I want to thank Volvo very much for the opportunity to present some remarks prior to the panel discussions this afternoon. In fact, I feel you might say almost somewhat inadequate because the panel discussions ought to be extremely interesting, and they are three subjects that I'll comment a little more on further on in my remarks, but they are of critical importance to the trucking industry going forward, and we have a great group of presenters during those sessions.
This is exciting for us, Volvo, because we recognize that we're part of the problem and we want to be part of the solution. And we think with what we've been able to accomplish, just by evidence of what we've done with the engine side, we think that working together with industry and policymakers that we can make some very positive changes in productivity.
Congestion has tripled since '82. We've got an ever-tightening regulatory web from a variety of angles covering every aspect of transportation movement. We expect to see diesel fuel price spikes return with a growing economy. International competitive pressures are as tough as ever and show no sign of lessening in the years ahead. And with a return to a healthy economy, we expect that the capacity shortages to return as well, particularly in the trucking sector.
Truck productivity is limited by policy, not technology. Size and weight regulation directly influences transport productivity, efficiency, fuel use, and emissions output. And these all impact the greater society.
They'd always be in the hole with us on complying with our standards. By taking that out of the equation and just not considering it and setting the standards, we leave it to the market pace to pick transmissions, final drive ratios, tire sizes, and engine power based on the needs of the fleets. So what is your payload, what's your route, what are you carrying? That'll determine those, and government regulation will not. And again, that works very well when we look at larger vehicles going forward.
When we looked at it, the fleets might be nice, but they're so ubiquitous and there's so many that are extremely small that it's sort of a regulatory and administrative improbability to go that way. And so at least we thought that for the most part, the vehicle manufacturers would be the ones that made the most sense. As you can see, our rationale was the greatest control of design of the vehicle and its major subsystems that affect fuel consumption.
I think people at all levels of government are going to rediscover that freight infrastructure really is the underpinning for our economic viability, and that we need to get serious about it again. And I do think that energy and sustainability concerns are not going away. You combine all that, we're left with a few policy options, and we need to get serious about it.
Drivers that are coming to us, and we always do personal interviews with drivers. Why are you here? Well, I want to work for a fleet that has good equipment, that has a good safety culture, that has benefits and all that. I have worked for my uncle who has 3 trucks, and the only way that I can make a living with them is to run too many miles, and on and on and on. And so we have seen numerous people that are gravitating to us, either customers and drivers. And I use that as an example that is the intention, I believe, is to support motor carriers where they have owner-operators or company trucks is not the issue, but that they have a safety culture that is going to be sustainable in the long term. And I think that's something that we want to encourage, and I'm glad that this regulation is doing that.
I think all of us, we heard Randy say it himself, Randy Mullins, all Americans expect to be able to travel the roadways safely. It's just a basic American expectation. And from our perspective at FMCSA, our role in that equation is to fulfill that expectation on the commercial vehicle operations side when it comes to interstate movement of trucks and buses.
And all the things that are talked about today, about safety and technology and all the efforts that you guys have made to make your product the best product, what it boils down to is lives. It's saving lives. Your kids are out there. My kids are out there, your grandparents, your parents, and we always say one life lost is one life too many, and that's so true. And that's what it all boils down to is lives.
And I think what we discovered today is that there's been a shift over the last, let's say, 24 months on the realization that that if we don't do something, we're going to have a lot of negative consequences as a result.
Yeah, well, the conference was exceptional because it covered the three basic areas that we have to look at, and the productivity, the safety, and the environmental impact. Those are crucial areas, and they all combine in this area of size and weight. It seems that size and weight is the common factor, and that puts the policymakers front and center. They are the ones who are going to be able to capitalize on the benefits that we can accrue, because we have had a freeze on size and weight since 1990. Many other countries have advanced. We can learn from that, from what they've done correctly, what they've done incorrectly, and we're in a very strong position to move wisely if we use a science-based approach.